Mike Angelino Sports. All right, let's talk about the Ryan Garcia versus Fortuna fight. All right, the fight was at 140 pounds because Fortuna couldn't make weight, quote unquote. But it's ironic when they asked Ryan Garcia in the post-fight interview, how does he feel about the weighing 140 pounds? His response was like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay at 140." I don't know. It just seems kind of fishy. Did Golden Boy pay Fortuna to make it seem like he can't make the weight? It's kind of fishy. If you ask me, Garcia's getting too big, man. He's like 5'10", 5'11", and the kid's growing. So I just think he can't make 135 anymore. All right, so let's talk about the good things I saw in the fight. Garcia stopped Fortuna in the 6th round. No one has ever done that. Yeah, but Fortuna's a 135-pounder. But in reality, Fortuna's a 130-pounder. His best performances were 130. So he's a 135-pounder. He's at 140, and he knocked him out. All right, he did what he had to do, and he did it in a great fashion, right? He dropped him 3 times, twice, knocked him out. So he knocked him out. So he did what he did. What he had to do. So that's a good thing. No one has ever done that, like I said. All right, so another thing I saw was the jab. He controlled Fortuna with that jab. He was just shooting that jab, just pss, 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 that piston jab, and it allowed Garcia to control the fight. So that jab, I like Garcia's jab, man. It's fast and it's strong and it's powerful and it's crisp, man. I like that about a fighter. And another thing I saw was traps. I don't know if you noticed, but Garcia was throwing that right hand. He wasn't throwing it with intentions to hit. He was just laying it out there, just poking it out there. The intention was letting Fortuna try to jump at him so he could catch him with that left hook, just that laser check hook he has, and he did. He dropped him twice when he hit him in the temple with that check hook. So those were the little things I saw, and I like it. He was setting a little bit traps. He was throwing that lazy right, expecting Fortuna to jump in and get him with that check hook, just pss, you know what I mean? And a jab and a check hook is key when you're fighting a southpaw. So he has the jab and he has that counter left hook, man, and that's key, especially if he fights Tank, because Tank jumps. He jumps at you. He's boxing, boom, and he jumps at you with that left hook. You know what I mean? So he has that. His defense got a little bit better. He didn't get to display his defense. Fortuna got tired, man, and after the 2nd round, he was in movie only when he was in danger, and I still haven't seen improvement in his footwork, but I'll get to that. Yeah, so let's talk about the bad things. All right, so in boxing, it's common knowledge that a right-hand fighter, when he fights a left-hand fighter, he needs to put his lead foot, his front foot, on the outside of a left-hand fighter's front foot or lead foot. You know what I mean? You have to put your if you're a right-hand fighter, you got to put your left foot on the outside to shoot that straight right hand. Boom, that's another key to when you're fighting a southpaw. It's not necessarily 100% true. I've seen fighters keep their foot in the inside and still win, and keep it in the and also keep it in the inside and lose. And I also seen fighters keep their lead foot on the outside of a southpaw lead foot and have success and lose. So it's not 100%, but it's common knowledge, and it's most likely those are the keys. That footwork, it's keys for the victory. Bam Rodriguez, if you look at him, he does that when he fights right-handers. He puts his foot in the outside, throws that double jab, etc., etc. So when Ryan Garcia was shooting that right hand, yeah, he was poking it, but when he was shooting that right hand with intentions to hit Fortuna, his right hand was just a little off the line of fire, just a little off Fortuna's face, right? Or just a little short. Why? Because Ryan Garcia kept his front foot on the inside instead of the outside. Because you put your foot on the outside, you shoot that straight right hand. But he kept his foot on the inside, and that right hand was just a little short. So what he needed to do is just to loop that shot, loop that right hand. And for example, if you study Canelo when he fought James Kirkland, Canelo kept his foot on the outside, he shot that straight right hand. But when he kept his foot on the inside, the southpaw Kirkland, he shot that right hand, but he looped it a little bit for he could get to Kirkland's face or the line of fire. Because when you have your foot on the inside, the head, Kirkland's face, or the opponent's, the southpaw's face, is just to the side. So boxing is a game of inches and angles, and these little things separate you from being good to being great, to being elite. You know what I mean? The top, the creme de la creme. Floyd Mayweather, he mastered these little angles, these little details. Canelo, man, top of his game. Why? Because he mastered this, and Ryan Garcia hasn't mastered this. So his footwork, I didn't see improvement. And I need to see more angles, more shifts. You know what I mean? And also, he doesn't know how to cut ring, man. He doesn't set traps. I didn't see L steps. I didn't see him control his opponent with his footwork. Fortuna, unfortunately, he died in the second round, third round. He was already tired. It was just too much weight. He's not a 140 pounder, so we didn't get to see Fortuna use his legs. Plus, he's older, so versus Tank, man. Tank's got legs. He's got footwork, man. He's got boxing abilities, as you can see. How he knocks his opponents out, going forwards and going backwards. So these angles and this like I said, these little footwork and angles, these little angles, and you have to master that. So he needs to watch Tito Trinidad, Triple G, Chavez, how he sets traps, how they cut ring. He needs to watch those fighters, man. Fighting a southpaw isn't easy, man. The best had trouble. Muhammad Ali had trouble. If you look it up, he had trouble with southpaws. Mayweather had trouble with southpaws. When Floyd Mayweather was Pretty Boy Floyd, he had trouble, man. When he fought Chop Chop Corley, he got hurt in the 4th round, man, because Chop Chop Corley was a southpaw and Floyd Mayweather was young, and Chop Chop Corley, man, he hurt him in the 4th, and it was competitive in the early rounds, and then Floyd Mayweather adjusted and he beat him. When Floyd Mayweather fought Zab Judah, another southpaw, Floyd Mayweather was getting tagged and he got hurt in the 4th round. And during the fight, he even got dropped, but they call it a slip. If you look at the fight, go back to the tape, because southpaws gave Pretty Boy Floyd trouble, man. He was a young fighter, and it's real tricky, man. It's hard to get ready for a left-hand fighter than to get ready for a right-hand fighter, because you're always training with right-hand fighters, and you're always fighting right-hand fighters. So yeah, man. Left-hand fighters have the advantage, man. Pacquiao, you know what I mean? He had a lot of success. He was a southpaw with power and skills, you know what I mean? So, Pretty Boy Floyd had trouble, but when Pretty Boy Floyd became Money May, oh, man, he mastered this. He fought Victor Ortiz, southpaw, easy work. He fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero, southpaw, easy work. He fought Manny Pacquiao, the Pac-Man, southpaw, easy work. So, it's going to take Ryan Garcia some time. But I haven't seen his improvements. He fought Luke Campbell, and he did these mistakes. And he's still making the mistakes. He doesn't have a lot of tools in the arsenal, tools in the toolbox. But what he has, he has some good tools. He has that jab, and he has power, that check hook. But his footwork needs to improve. That footwork, those angles, is going to separate him from the rest. The Devin Haney's, the Teals, the Tanks, you know what I mean? These little things separate you, and you become elite. The top, the creme de la creme. You know what I mean? So, what's next for Ryan Garcia? I don't know. There's Regis Progress, a southpaw at 140 pounds, because they asked him. He wants to stay at 140. There's Ramirez at 140. There's Teal at 140. He moved up. There's Jose Cepeda, another southpaw with power. He moved up. Is he gonna face these guys? He has to face them eventually, but who's he gonna fight next? If you ask me, he's gonna fight Jojo Diaz, a southpaw, 135, but in reality he's at 130. They're gonna move him up to 140. Yeah, man. I think he's gonna fight Jojo Diaz next, man. But if I have to grade Ryan Garcia, I'll give him a B-, C+. I have to see more. I have to see improvement in his footwork, and he did some good stuff. Did what he had to do, but yeah, I need to see more, man. He needs to fight a young fighter, an elite fighter, if I could give him full credit. But he did what he had to do, man. But that's all I got. Mike Angelino Sports, in conjunction with the Tres Chingones Boxing. I'm gone.